Thanks for tuning in to another week of Carolina Kid News.
We're the #1 youth news network in the Carolinas. The Mecklenburg County primary elections will be on Tuesday, September 15th. The polls will be open from 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m.
As an American citizen, voting is extremely important. Your vote is your voice.
Here's Darrell Bonaparte, a candidate for City Council at large.
Hi, my name is Darrell Bonaparte. I'm a candidate for Charlotte City Council at large. I am a Charlotte native, born and raised. I grew up in the Seversville and Smallwood community of West Charlotte. Graduated from South Mecklenburg class of 1987. Served 15 years in the United States military. I am now a disabled veteran. I served 2 years deployment in Operation Iraqi Freedom. I am currently the commander of the American Legion for Mecklenburg County, and I am a proud father, a great son who is a senior at North Carolina A&T, and a great daughter who's a sophomore at Independence High School. And I love my city. I love Charlotte, North Carolina. And I'm running because this city is needing good leadership to continue moving us to the new century that we have ahead of us. We have to make sure that those that are needing to look forward to a great future, that is looked after and done so in a way that our leadership will show that our children that are before us, they're going to have a great life. My #1 priority when I'm elected as a Charlotte City Council at large is homelessness. We have 4,700 homeless children in Mecklenburg County school system. You add that to the parents, to the homeless veterans that are here in Mecklenburg County, and the countless others, and we think about thousands that are homeless here in our city. But the children that are in our school systems, we are needing to make sure that we do a great job of eliminating that issue, not just supporting and providing resources, but we need to eliminate homelessness amongst our children and amongst the citizens of this county. I am looking forward to serving you, and I'm going to make sure that not only homelessness is a priority, but we focus on transportation and make sure that Charlotte is moved into the future. Transportation, mass transit movement is an important factor of making sure that this city, that is among the top fastest growing in the United States, has what it needs to move our citizens around to and from work and all other destinations of entertainment and through our city. We want to make sure that our environment is protected. We need to make sure that our waterways are clean, that our land and soil is also looked after. We need to make sure that our air quality stays at a great level. These things are important to the sustainability of our citizens and the future of this city. And I look forward to your support. September 15th, 2015, Darrell Bonaparte, Charlotte City Council at large. Thank you.
Voting is your civic duty. Please get out and vote Tuesday, September 15th. Polls will open at 6:30 a.m.
For more voting information, visit charmec.org.
Here is John Powell, a candidate for City Council at large.
Hello, my name is John Powell, and I'm running for Charlotte City Council at large. I am a native Charlottean, born and raised here in Charlotte, born in Presbyterian Hospital, just downtown. I'm very fortunate because I was raised with 3 wonderful sisters and my 2 parents that are now no longer with us. But growing up in Charlotte, I was able to experience and see a lot of things. My dad and my mom taught us how to work hard, how to depend on each other, how to really understand what life is all about. I learned this going through not only with great parents, but instruction through all the schools that I went through, from Sharon Elementary, Carmel Junior High School, and a proud graduate of Myers Park High School here in Charlotte. Go Mustangs. From Myers Park, I was able to attend and graduate from Appalachian State University, where I concentrated my studies in marketing and international business affairs. Later in life, I met the love of my life, Tanya Bartlett Powell. Tanya and I live in the house that I grew up in on Carmel Road. There with our 2 rescue dogs, Lester and Bandit, we just learned to love and enjoy each and every moment together. What's so important about being raised in Charlotte is that I have been able to experience firsthand what's worked and what hasn't worked in Charlotte. And this is why I want to serve. As an adult, I serve in my church as a deacon at Carmel Presbyterian Church. I now want to serve you. That's why I would ask for all of you to look me up on my website. The website address is www.votejohnpowell.org. I've been asked what's my #1 priority if elected, And for me, it's all about jobs. And jobs is a wide spectrum, but really what we really need to focus in on is entrepreneurialism. You know, I'm a small businessman in myself. I'm a commercial real estate appraiser, and I know what it's like to go out there and earn a living every day. What we don't realize here in Charlotte, we're fortunate to have such large corporations that come in to want to reinvest in our town. But over 70% of our employment, of our workforce, are entrepreneurs. So whether you're old or young, you're an entrepreneur. I remember the first job I had was at a lemonade stand. From there, caddying out the golf course. My parents instilled in me a work ethic that you go out and work for a living, you do what you're supposed to do so you can provide for yourself and for your family. And so that's what I would encourage everybody. Don't listen to naysayers. Go out and make it for yourself. Do what you need to do for yourself because you can achieve anything that you want to achieve. So focus, old and young, especially you youth. When you're going through school, understand how well your teachers are trying to supply you with the information that you need to attack this world, to really become that entrepreneur that you need. Listen to your folks, listen to your parents because they are the ones that are going to support you. Again, I ask that you focus on entrepreneurialism because that's my focus. I want to be sure that everybody has a good job and everybody can make a living to support their families. Again, my name is John Powell and I'm running for Charlotte City Council at large. Thank you.
To reach the Mecklenburg County Board of Election, visit charlemec.org or call 311.
Here's James Smiddy Mitchell, a candidate for City Council at large.
Hello, I'm James Smiddy Mitchell, a candidate for City Council at large. Thank you so much for this opportunity to introduce myself. I'm a Charlotte native, graduated of West Charlotte Senior High School, graduated from North Carolina Central University. And from 1999 to 2013, I represented District 2 on the Charlotte City Council. Now let's talk about what we accomplished in those 14 years. We built the new BB&T ballpark in Center City. We upgraded the Carolina Panther Stadium. We put Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard in the heart of our community. We built a North Lake Mall regional shopping center. And when the citizens were having crime issues, we built a Metro police station. I also supported the free trolley from Johnson C. Smith to downtown. So let's talk about our future together, if I'm so fortunate to be on the Charlotte City Council. I still think we need to recruit companies here to make sure all the citizens have opportunity for a better quality of life by having a job. I want to make sure our corridors, North Tryon, South Boulevard, West Boulevard, and Beatty's-Ford Road have great economic development. We need to make sure that our citizens are prepared to take on the opportunities and have the ability to prepare themselves for new job skills. Charlotte is a great city. We are also proud to live in a great city, but we need proven leadership with experience. I'm James Smiddy Mitchell. I'm asking that we continue to move Charlotte forward. I'm asking to work with me, and let's talk about how Charlotte can not only be a best place that we love, but be the best city in America. My #1 priority for the city of Charlotte is economic development. And let me share with you why that's so much a passion for me. Economic development, like the Mosaic Village project, brings by a new branding for a corridor. Economic development and our Charlotte Inclusionary Program, which I took the lead on, make sure women-owned businesses and minority-owned business get a better participation in city contract. Economic development, we need to bring a new development to the Eastland Mall area to restore that great pride to the east side. Economic development, like we did in North Lake Mall, which improve our quality of life. Economic development, I support a new Tanger Outlet Mall. Economic development, the BB&T Ballpark Center City, where we have job creation, construction opportunity. Charlotte has yet to see its best days, but through my leadership in pushing economic development, we're going to create jobs, we're going to create a new branding, and we're going to make sure unemployment stays at an all-time low. Thank you.
The Mecklenburg County primary elections will be on Tuesday, September 15th. The polls will be open from 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m.
As an American citizen, voting is extremely important. Your vote is your voice.
To reach the Mecklenburg County Board of Election, visit charlemec.org or call 311.
Voting is a family affair. Now here's Charlotte's Mayor Dan Clodfelter, candidate for re-election.
What are some ways we can enrich our art scenes?
Well, one thing we have to do is provide a lot more spaces that artists can find attractive and they can use. They can afford high rent in high-rise office towers, but we've got a great inventory of neighborhoods and buildings around town that are very affordable for art studios, for music venues, and for living spaces. And we've got to do more of that.
What do you think that we can do for youth today?
Well, I think the most important thing we can do is make sure you know of all the opportunities that are available for you in Charlotte. Charlotte's not just a one-horse town. As I said in my presentation in the theater, we're more than just a banking center, and I think a lot of our young people in town don't know the range of opportunities that are really available to stay right here in Charlotte. You don't have to go to New York for an acting career. You don't have to go to the West Coast for a film career. You can do that right here in Charlotte.
What are some ways we can make our community safe?
Well, as I said again in the theater, safety is all about the way people partner with each other. The police are really partners in the community, helping the community people police their own neighborhoods, keep an eye and keep watch on their own neighborhoods. It's not about putting, batons or guns on the street or patrol cars on the street. It's about building relationships among people. I'm going to continue to work on the Economic Opportunity Task Force that D. Odell talked about. I helped get that off the ground and get it started, raised the money for it, and got the task force appointed. That's the most important work in Charlotte, and I'm going to continue working on that. I think if I would change something is I would probably put more energy into looking at long-term strategies for funding the transit system. We really need to be paying more serious attention about where the money is going to come from for us to build out our 21st century transit system.
What made you want to run for mayor again?
I love the city. It's a great city. My kids grew up here. They were born here. They want to make this place their home for the future. I want it to be the best place for them to raise their families.
Thank you for speaking with us today.
Well, thank you so much. I enjoyed it.
Thank you. Good luck.
You bet. Thank you. Take care.
Here's David Howard, a candidate for Charlotte Mayor.
How do you plan to get to today's youth?
Well, actually, a couple of years ago, about 3 years ago, I actually spearheaded the formation of the Youth Advisory Council for Charlotte. It was actually an idea that I had my first intern actually research, because I know when I was your age, I wanted opportunities to get involved. Now, I did it a lot of ways through my church, but I wanted to find ways to get young people involved, for one, to make sure that they were exposed to kind of what government was, two, to make sure that we prepared leaders for the future, and three, just to make sure we had the voice of youth when it came to decisions we were making, both at the city, the county, and the school board. So I'm already doing it.
What are some ways we can make our community more diverse?
Well, one of the things we have to do is just embrace it. It's already diverse, whether we like it or not. I think what you're asking me is how do we make sure that we expose ourselves to each other, to make sure that the school system that we used to have is where we bus kids and make sure that they got to know people in other areas. I think that is a challenge. Charlotte's always been really good about it, but this community is going to have a real conversation about what it values, to make sure that we understand that exposure for you all to each other and the backgrounds that you come from actually helps to build you as a better person. So we got to have a community conversation about it, but we know what the results are, because if it were not for those types of programs, I wouldn't be standing here.
Well, with all of the problems in the schools, how do you think that we'll be able to fix those?
Well, I don't know if we, as long as Charlotte's growing, I'm not sure we need to fix it. We need to make it better. The city's role in schools is actually very limited. We actually have nothing to do with the budgets and kind of the curriculum. But what we do have is the control over the neighborhoods that they go home to. What we know is that the communities that you grow up in actually have more to do with how you turn out than the schools even. So what we need to do is make sure that those other 16 hours a day that they're with the community, we're keeping the neighborhood safe, we're making sure housing is stable, we're doing the things to make sure that when they're home, they can concentrate on what they need to be concentrating on, and that's maturing, doing their homework, and doing the things to get ready to be a success.
How can we get more people in our community involved?
Well, Charlotte's actually that kind of community. The reason why I'm standing here today is because when I was your age, I actually got involved with my church. I actually got involved with the community I was growing up in. One of the things we need to do is make sure that as you guys get older, that we're getting you involved with advisory committees and getting you involved with internships so you can be productive members of our community. And again, that's the reason why I helped start the Youth Advisory Council, to make sure that we're getting you involved right now so that you'll stay involved moving forward.
Politics can be a messy thing, so what made you want to get into them?
Oh, it's not messy. I'm joking. Because I love this community. I mean, there are a lot of ways that you can get involved, and I did the public service scene. I got involved with community groups. I was on boards, and eventually I always knew I wanted to be part of a public policy conversation. I honestly believe that, you're kind of called to do things. And for me, I truly believe this was my purpose in life. I've always loved politics. I've always inspired to be right here where I am today. So, I think it's kind of to each his own. I just believe this is where I should be.
Did you want to be in politics when you grew up?
Oh my God, yes. As a matter of fact, Harvey Gantt, who was the first African-American mayor, actually inspired me a lot. As a matter of fact, I found out, I didn't even know what an architect was till I read that he was an architect. I looked it up. And then when I saw him running and the changes that he made for our community, it inspired me to want to be just like him. And today he's actually supporting me for mayor, which makes me even more excited.
Cool.
It is cool. I think the same thing.
Well, I'm glad that the person who inspired you was able to support you today. Thank you so much for speaking with us.
Thank you both ladies for what you're doing. I expect to see both of y'all run one day.
Maybe.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I'm Laura Mullis.
And I'm Simone Johnson.
We're here in Spirit Square
For Shake Up Charlotte, sponsored by We Are the Future.
for the Mayor's Forum.
I'm here with Miss Amy Chu, founder of the We Are the Future program. Can you tell us what inspired you to start the program?
Sure. So there's actually a graph that shows that millennial turnout in the 2014 election cycle was lower. It was like probably in the 20s, and everybody knew that in order for Kay Hagan to win the election, we needed a higher millennial turnout. So I started talking to their campaign about like what their ideas were for engaging this population, and they actually said they didn't have anything. And so there was like this huge opportunity for us to kind of organize our friends and figure out why people don't vote, and then how do we get them to get more interested.
The name WTF We Vote, I totally like that, but I just wanted to know, how did you come up with that?
So actually one of the original people on our team, his name is Jake, and he's a digital marketing expert, and he coined the term WTF We Vote. We added the We Vote because we really want to impress upon people that it's really important that everybody votes, and so we kind of put it in our name. But really, we just wanted something that we could have fun with.
Are you happy with the outcome today?
I'm thrilled with the outcome today. Like I said earlier in the program, when we started planning this, we had a theater that holds about 200 people, and everyone said, you're crazy to think that 200 people are going to come to a local candidates forum. And in the past, we get like 30 or 40 people, and we're very excited. So for 800 people to say that they wanted to come and hear what the candidates have to say was far past any of our expectations.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said that politics were a mess, so why do you want to get involved with them?
Because even though it's a mess, it's so important, I've always been involved in organizing my community, and so when you kind of get up close and you see how things work and how things unfold, you kind of realize pretty quickly that there's a very limited number of people who are helping make those decisions, and then those impacts are so big. And so my goal is to get as many people as possible to kind of do a little bit, because I think it will shift, and I think a lot of times you hear people talk about how politics don't work or they're terrible or whatever, but they don't do anything to help. So the most challenging part is two things probably. One would be that all of us have full-time jobs, and we do this as a labor of love. It's something that we're all very passionate about. And so we were a baby organization. We're just about a year, and so to manage an 800-person event at a fancy venue with a team of 3 was kind of overwhelming. And so we were very fortunate that so many of our really good friends stepped up to help us pull this off. And then the other I would say is it's so hard with so many different things going on for people to kind of connect with politics, right? The information is not very good. City council, county commission meetings are kind of boring, So how do we make it interesting and relevant? How do we share important information quickly so that we're respectful of people's time, but also making sure that they get what they need out of it?
Thank you so much for speaking with us today.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
Thank you. Good luck.
Voting is your civic duty. Please get out and vote Tuesday, September 15th. Polls will open at 6:30 a.m.
For more voting information, visit charmec.org.